Hi everybody, this is Mr. Rocco, and today we're going to be looking at the rock cycle. So the question we're going to be investigating is, how can you tell how different rocks formed and their ages relative to each other? So really we're going to be talking about the three different types of rocks: sedimentary, metamorphic, igneous. We're going to have three rocks called granite, sandstone, and quartzite, and we're going to try to interpret which rock was first of the three, which rock formed first, which rock formed second, and which rock formed third. So we know that because of the rock cycle, that one type of rock can transform into another type of rock over time. So it turns out that all three of the rocks you're looking at today are related to each other. So the background, it says, suppose you have a rock collection and would like to make an information card about each sample. You may want the cards to include information about how each rock formed, as well as when it formed. The rock cycle is a series of processes occurring both on and below the Earth's surface that slowly changes one type of rock into another. In this activity, you will hypothesize about how rocks are related and how they may have formed. So if we follow our procedure here, first thing you want to do is you want to grab one rock sample at a time. And it says use the hand lens to observe and collect information about each rock. Note how the rocks are the same and different. Also study the texture of each rock. Texture refers to the sizes, shapes, and arrangement of the mineral grains in a rock. So I want you to grab one rock at a time, and you're going to observe it with your eyes and with your hand lens. And I want you to draw a very detailed sketch of each rock. So I'm going to start with my granite rock, and it's kind of I'm going to use kind of a gray outline for it. It kind of has this kind of irregular shape. And what I see in my granite, I see a lot of different sized, shaped crystals and different colors. So I'm going to put those in here. So I have some pink ones kind of scattered throughout. They're all kind of very randomly shaped. Alright, then right next to those I have a lot of kind of black colored minerals that are kind of growing right into those. And then I also have kind of a clear, kind of yellow colored mineral. So I'm going to use yellow to show that. Alright, so that's basically what my rock looks like. Now what we need to do is think about, well, which type of rock is this? And when I look at this rock, I see that it has visible crystals. It's made up of a variety of different minerals. I can see the crystals. It doesn't have like layers in it or thin layers that would show it's a metamorphic rock. So this looks like a rock that is an igneous rock that formed when it cooled inside the earth, and it cooled very slowly. So I'm going to put igneous. Okay, so for the first part of this lab, just like I showed you here, I want you to draw a sketch of each of the three types of rocks, and I want you to determine the type of rock it is: sedimentary, igneous, or metamorphic. Alright, step 3, arrange the pictures above in order to hypothesize a sequence in which the three rocks might have formed. Apply the observations you made with the hand lens. Record your sequence in your answer to question 1. Okay, so for question 1, it says record the sequence. So I have to think about these three rocks, the order that they formed in. Which one came first, which one came second, which one came third. So to answer this question, you would start by saying something like the sequence the rocks formed in is, then you could just list them from beginning to end. So maybe you think granite was first, and then maybe you think it was quartzite, and then sandstone. So that's the first part of it. And then it says, classify each rock by the processes of its formation. And it says, hypothesize how these rocks may have formed. So I'm going to talk about each of these three rocks. So the first one I know we talked about was granite, and I can say that granite formed when a body of magma deep in the earth cooled slowly over a long period of time. Okay, so I would do that for the other two rocks as well. I would try to come up with a hypothesis about how I think the quartzite formed and also the sandstone. So I said the sequence of rocks formed in, the sequence the rocks formed in is granite, quartzite, and sandstone. Granite formed when a body of magma deep in the earth cooled slowly over a long period of time. All right, the second question says, consider the changes that occurred on and below the Earth's surface to form each type of rock you looked at. Can there be another sequence that can explain how the rocks formed? Explain your answer. So you might say something like a alternate sequence the rocks may have formed in is, and then you can list another possibility. So maybe there's another way that those three types of rocks could have formed. So to summarize, in this lab we're looking at three different rocks: granite, quartzite, sandstone. We're creating a detailed sketch of those. We're making observations, and we're creating a hypothesis, an educated guess or educated prediction about the sequence that those three rocks formed in. Which one came first, which one came second, and which one came third. And then we're going to hypothesize about how those rocks actually formed. What was the process to form those rocks? And if you guys have any questions, send your science teacher a message in Schoology, and have a great